The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. From the hottest issues or trends for our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy
Sorry
Monday.
I'm croaking.
You're croaking. Are you getting
Yeah.
over a cold?
No,
What's
no, no,
happening?
no, no, no. It's just early in the morning, that's all.
Hello. Good morning.
Hi. Good to see your face. It's been a while.
I know, a whole week, but
Yeah.
this feels like riding a bike. It feels the same.
You just got back from France. I just got back from Japan.
All right, we're jet
Yeah.
setting the things we can do in this day and age. Welcome back to
Yes.
you too, then, in that case, Erica.
Thank you.
All right, let's get started. Over in Italy, a first comfort women statue that has been set up. What's the full story here?
Yes, so a girl statue that symbolizes the victims of Japan's wartime sexual slavery has been erected in Italy for the very first time. According to the Korean Council for Justice and Remembrance for the Issues of Military Sexual Slavery, the Statue of Peace, or simply Comfort Women statue, was unveiled to the public on Stintino Beach on the island of Sardinia on Saturday. That's local time. The statue's location is on a beach about a couple of 100 meters away from Stintino City Hall, and the area is very it's a widely visited area. It's visited by many tourists. So lots of people will get to see this statue and what it stands for.
You would imagine visibility is so
Yeah.
important, and if many tourists happen to walk by the statue and more turn heads, it's probably getting the job done. Now, if you're wondering how often are these statues set up in different parts of Europe, it's actually pretty rare. According to news reports, the Centino statue is the second such girl statue installed on a public land in Europe after the first one set up in Berlin in 2020.
That's right. So the statue also marks the 14th Comfort Women statue erected outside of Korea. The very first one was installed in Glendale, California, back in 2013. Now, the council said it proposed the construction of the statue to the Italian city of Stintino in December of last year, and the mayor of the city immediately welcomed the council's proposal. Stintino Mayor Rita Valabella was quoted by the council as saying at the unveiling ceremony that the girl statue represents the need to promote universal human rights of women. The statue symbolizes 200,000 Asian women, mostly Koreans, who were forcibly sent to frontline brothels to work as sex slaves for Japanese troops during World War II.
You know what they say about those who don't remember history, right? So the sexual slavery victims are one of the many thorny issues stemming from the 35-year period when Korea was a Japanese colony.
That's right, from 1910 to 1945. Now, the epitaph set up next to the statue states that the Japanese Imperial Army forcibly took away many young girls and women to make them provide sexual services to soldiers during the war. Now, the inscription next to the statue is engraved in three languages: Italian, Korean, and English. There are also QR codes alongside the inscription so that visitors have access to other languages as well. Now, the local media outlet L'Unione Sarda reported that Japan's top envoy to Italy, Suzuki Satoshi, had made a request to the mayor, Valabella, to postpone the unveiling ceremony.
At this point, we can probably put the pieces together, but under what grounds?
Yes, the envoy claimed that the inscription is far from the facts. Japan's Kyoto News earlier reported, in fact, that Valabella said her city is considering replacing the inscription so that it will reflect both stances of South Korea and Japan on the sexual slavery issue. But according to news reports that have come out since, the mayor had not mentioned the possibility of replacing the inscription when meeting with Japan's envoy, and that the city has no plans to change it.
Here's a pleasant update. One of our listeners from the States, Sunflower Sky, says, we also have one of the bronze statue of the woman sitting on a chair chair here in a park in Atlanta, Georgia. I went to the park with my daughter to see it. So there are a few
Thank you for that.
sprinkler across the
Sharing
road.
that.
We appreciate it. All right, let's move on to our second buzzword this morning. It is an update to the recall. Denmark's Buldak ramen recall apparently sparks more interest, more Google search at least.
Yes, so we talked about this story, a couple of weeks ago before you left. The recent recall of several Buldak ramyeon products in Denmark for being too spicy has unexpectedly turned into this marketing win situation for the company. Now, data shows that there has been a surge in Google searches for the products. According to Google Trends data, worldwide searches for Buldak ramyeon reached a peak on June 12th, following news of the Danish Food Administration's decision to recall 3 varieties of the instant ramyeon line.
Are you guys wired this way? I think most of us are wired this way. Don't do it. And suddenly you're curious. Don't eat it. And suddenly, because I had no interest in extra spicy noodles, but it sparks your curiosity, doesn't it?
Yep.
So the news of the recall resulted in extensive coverage of the noodle products, not only in Korean media, but also in outlets such as BBC, The Guardian, The Washington Post, AP News, you name it. We also covered the story on the segment, as Erica said, 2 weeks ago. Now, getting back to the data, how much of a search spike are we talking about? What does it show?
Yes, so Google data for this month indicates that searches for Buldak ramyeon have doubled compared to October of last year and quadrupled compared to March of last year. Now, despite the increased worldwide attention, Samyang, the Korean food manufacturer, remains cautious at this point. Officials from Samyang affirmed that the company has acknowledged the situation and are emphasizing that the issue at hand, which is the recall, has yet to be properly resolved.
Should there be different warning levels on the spiciness? I don't know, because some people just like the extra spicy kind, right? All right, so on June 11th, the Danish Food Safety Agency identified high levels of capsaicin in a single pack of these 3 noodle products, particularly that they decide to recall or encourage a recall. The agency said that the active component of chili peppers presented a significant risk of acute toxicity to consumers. That sounds dangerous. Samyang responded to the recall just last week.
Yes, so Samyang actually filed a statement on Wednesday of last week, and it contended that the capsaicin content level should be evaluated based on the weight of the sauce, which is 31.8 grams. But apparently the Danish Food Administration, they measured the entire product, which weighs 140 grams, which is a significant difference, right? Yeah. Because the noodles itself, that's not spice. It's just the sauce. So that's what the point that they were trying to make. The original Buldak series measures around 4,400 Scoville heat units, which is a measure of spiciness based on the concentration of capsaicinoids. Now, Samyang Buldak hot chicken ramyeon, 2 times spicy, measures 8,800 Scoville heat units, and 3 times spicy measures, yes, you do the math, 12,000 Scoville heat units. Now, for comparison, a jalapeno pepper measures anywhere between 2,000 to 8,000 Scoville heat units.
Okay, there you have it. Will the Danish Food Safety Agency respond to this? We'll wait and see. In the meantime, it seems that at least a food maker is getting all kinds of publicity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Publicity. Good publicity is good. Bad publicity is good.
Yeah.
All publicity. Yeah. There's no such thing as bad marketing.
I think that's the saying. There's no such thing as bad publicity. That's what Hollywood is built on. And these days it works. Noise marketing can be turned into your favor. All right. On to the city of Daejeon. Not to put it in a small scope, but Daejeon is known for a few things, famous for it, in fact, like the home of one of the most important research centers in Korea, like KAIST, the university, and Seongsimdang. How do these 2 worlds come together? We'll get to the story.
Well, I think at this point in time, Seongsin당 definitely wins when it comes to, oh, what's the most famous in Daejeon, or where should I go when I'm in Daejeon?
Yep.
Now, the research institutes within the Daedeok Innopolis are leveraging the fame of Daejeon's most famous landmark and tourist attraction, the bakery Seongsin당, for their own promotional activities. So the Keist brand shop recently launched a new keychain that features Nutty, which is their official mascot. Nutty is holding a Seongsimdang fried soboro, which is the bakery's most famous product. Now, the product description under Nutty holding the bread reads, Daejeon, home to Keist, is also famous for Seongsimdang. People line up from all over the country to buy their bread, and our Nutty is lucky to have one. Now, the Korea Institute of Geoscience and Mineral Resources recently uploaded a video on its official YouTube channel. It's titled, There's More to Daejeon Than Seongsimdang. It's trying to promote its geology museum. Now, the video features two cats. It's mimicking a popular meme. And one of the cat asks, so you went to Daejeon? Where did you visit? And the other cat replies, Seongsimdang, Seongsimdang Boutique, Seongsimdang DCC. And then, yeah, another cat playfully slaps this cat who answers. Now, the video surpassed 1,000 views in less than a week.
All right, so Daejeon has always been known to locals as a science city, home to KAIST, right, and many other subsequent research centers. But in recent years, the city has become synonymous with the bakery, Seongsimdang, so much so that it is often referred to, maybe funnily enough now, half-jokingly, as Seongsimdang City.
That's right. Now, the shift has led to all kinds of marketing strategies, all using the bakery's fame to make science more approachable and fun. Now, Seongsin당 has undoubtedly boosted Daejeon's brand, that's for sure, but there's also a downside, according to experts. The city risks being labeled as a boring city with little else to offer but this famous bakery. A senior researcher at the Daejeon Sejong Research Institute, Chu Hae-jin, notes in her book, Why Daejeon Became a Boring City, that from 2018 to 2022, the most searched location in Daejeon was in fact Seongsimdang's main store with 412,000 searches. Following closely behind were Daejeon O-World with 354,000 searches and Seongsimdang DCC with 240,000 searches. Now, the researcher suggests that since the Visit Daejeon year in 2019, the idea that there's nothing to do in Daejeon has become a strong meme on its own. And to change this, she says the city needs to think more deeply about the city's identity beyond just bread and noodles. Daejeon is actually famous for kalguksu.
The land of the carbs. Or they can just double down on the fun. Sometimes that works too. Like, look, this is what we're known for and it's excellent. And then work their way into, but hey, while you're here for great carbs, there's also this attraction.
Great carbs.
Right? Carbs is good. Tastes great anyway. Thank you so much, Erica. What great fun. I'll speak to you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.